talked about like, and then you talked like about an ice cream cone, how liking an ice cream cone, resonating with an ice cream cone, or resonating with you and liking what you say are all the same. And I, I realized that I tended to agree with you after you explained it, and I don't see it the way you see it, and I still see it feel resonate with something that's different than liking something. So I can't say I resonate with an ice cream cone, or I can resonate with some things that you say, and and yet I feel that resonating with something that with things you say are different than just liking. They go deeper into my body, and there's a sensation that just really makes it feel so true, even though I can't explain why. So that's the objection. I just felt kind of bad that I went along with something I really didn't go along with. So that's the only reason I shot you that text today.
Okay. Yeah. Beautiful. So yeah, the word doesn't matter. The word doesn't matter.
But it kind of does, doesn't it? I mean, we have an English language that we communicate with one another with. And if Faith says to me she resonates with something, I get a whole feeling than if she just likes it. So in a sense, because we have given everything, we have all the meaning we have, but as a community, we have a common meaning we give things. So I think it does matter. The word does matter. We may as well be, talking about something entirely else. And why are we meeting? The words do matter, don't they? I mean, I think they do. I don't have to ask that question. It's a rhetorical question.
Yeah. Well, thinking the words matter or not is just this already. So if you think the words matter, and there's nothing wrong with words. If you ask for directions, I'm going to need to use words to tell you where to go. Yeah. So there can be meaning in the moment, like needing directions. I need directions. So in that moment, it seems to have meaning. But it's also meaningless inherently. So it's both, you could say the words seem to have meaning, and at the same time, they're meaningless. Because all words are this already. They're all this. And nobody knows what this is. I don't know what this is. Nkosi doesn't know what this is. Sandra doesn't. Nobody. So it's just a voice coming out. And there, when there's talking there, there'll just be a voice coming out. But nobody's doing this voice. Nobody's thinking these thoughts, thinking, well, I agree with that. If agreement arises, that's just what's happening. If disagreement arises, beautiful. That's just what's happening as well.
How come for so many months we've talked about resonating and how important resonating is in terms of this whole thing, and now suddenly it's not what we have defined it to be over the months.
Well, what word would you like, Alice?
Well, I think it all ultimately goes down to it's all this, but I think if Nkosi's words resonate with you, I would prefer you say his words resonate with you. And let's not even use Nkosi, let's use a stranger. And you say to me, I really like the way Joe Smith talks. And you said, I really like the resonance I feel when Joe Smith talks. To me, I have two different responses when you share like that. So I guess and then yet, of course, it's all this bottom line, but it seems like we're missing if we go right from this and say, well, it's all this anyway. So uh, I guess I'll just keep using the words that I can share that have meaning for me. And when resonating, that is a word that has meaning for me. So I will use that when it's appropriate for me to use it. And when I eat a peanut butter cookie, I'll say I like the cookie. And that makes sense to me. I couldn't even begin to say, Don, I really resonate with peanut butter cookies. Uh, it doesn't make sense to say that to me.
Okay, yeah, beautiful. Have it your way. It's all this. All the words are this too. So
right. I know, but that seems to be like a real far step. I mean, here we're just saying, I understand that everything is this. So I don't know, when you say have it your way, why you said that.
I'm saying pick whatever word you like. It doesn't matter. That's the freedom, Alice. It doesn't matter. Resonate, like, feel good, love. It doesn't matter. It's all the same. It's all this. So if it's all this, then one word is this or another word is this.
Then why even talk? Why just not just eliminate language?
It just seems to be what's happening. Communicating seems to happen. Zoom meetings seems to happen. Questions seem to happen.
So
Go ahead.
So am I just really standing alone, feeling the way I feel, and nobody else even senses feeling any of the stuff that I'm feeling? Don, you sense it?
Oh yeah, I do. I get what you're saying. You're not going to get anywhere with that kind of talk here, but you know, but I totally get it. I totally get it.
Okay, thanks. That's all I'm saying is that.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying. And
Yeah.
everything bottom line is this.
Well, in a way, Don, you said it beautifully. So Alice, kind of that's what I'm saying. You can choose any word, and I'm not saying that flippantly. I'm not saying that, well, I'm saying no, truly, any word, because it's still this, so you don't really get anywhere.
Right.
And they can also change. Do you ever notice you can like a word or a song or somebody, and then that can flip, and suddenly
Right.
that word doesn't do it anymore.
Yes.
Well, hey, everyone. I came in a little bit late, so I missed what actually the conversation is. Although, in a way, it's always the same, a continual conversation. But I just thought to say that, talking about words are little bits of a story. They're like little building blocks of a story, or little pieces that go together to make a story. So in terms of the story, the words matter a lot, or can matter a lot, and usually do. And it can be very important to the story what words we use and how we use them. But then this, to kind of go to where Michael, I think, was talking, or the point he was making, is that we're always building a story one way or another, but the story itself doesn't mean anything.
Right.
So meaning is always within the story, the meaning of this story or that story. And we can, talk about that. But we're all, the story never has a meaning. I mean, all these stories, there's no meaning, no matter what the story is, it never makes a meaning. And that's kind of what we're always pointing to. This is the word that has no meaning. It's this that isn't a story. It's not this or that. It doesn't matter what the words are. The words don't matter to this. Anyway, I don't know if that gets us anywhere, but I was just feeling to say
Yeah,
that.
that's helpful. Thanks, Dan.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Good to see you.
You too.
Okay, well, here we go.
I think it's like what I'm seeing is that it's all okay as it is right now, just as it is. It's already okay. And so if one person thinks there's meaning and one person thinks there's no meaning, or somebody thinks there's meaning and no meaning, or all the different variables, that's already okay. Almost before it's said, it's already okay. And that's why I think I'm starting to understand that anything is allowed here because it's all okay already.
Yeah, already. There you go, Don. All is this.
Yeah.
Already, as you know, if you want another word for this, the only other word for me is already. What is this, Michael? It's already.
I know, I like you put that on your Facebook page, and that word just is so relaxing to me, of like, already. It's like nothing needs to happen, nothing needs to go anywhere, there isn't anywhere to go. It's like, I don't know, just that word, and we're talking words, but somehow that word, similar to this, I guess, but already is like kind of phew, don't need to try so hard for a moment, just it's this, it's whatever. And even if it doesn't feel okay, that's it too. Not feeling okay is the same as feeling okay. I mean, right? It's like all of it is life. It's everything.
Yeah. Yeah, beautiful. I would say that feeling okay and not feeling okay are not the same, right? Feeling okay is what I want. Feeling not okay is not what I want. So those are not the same. And yet, they are. They're both this. So we can say that all words, all objects, everything is unique, yet the same. Now that can't be reconciled. That can't be got to through logic. Michael, how can something be unique yet the same?
And I mean, maybe, I mean, nothing can be really gotten, right? I mean, if there's no, we don't even know what this is. So what can be gotten when there is like, it's like standing in quicksand. I mean, what even is this?
Yeah, beautiful. That is the question.
Yeah.
Pretty much my whole life, right?
Is this?
Since I was a little kid.
Yes. That's why I love being around children, because they're so
Yeah.
like not sure, there's not like this, oh, I get this, and oh, this is this, and this is why this is. It's like, really? I don't know. Who knows?
Yeah.
Well, that's what's funny about the person who is seeking something.
Yeah.
Because behind that, there's an assumption that I do know. I must know what I'm seeking. I must know what this is. So to some degree, at least to know that there's something there that I can get that I don't have, and
Yeah.
I can make a story of getting it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the idea that there can be seeking, yeah, seeking for just no reason. It has nothing to do with you, the seeking. It's just what's happening. It's like the hiccups.
Yeah.
The hiccups come when they come, and they go when they go. And wanting the hiccups to go quickly is natural. Wanting the seeking to end quickly is natural.
Yeah, and I like that that point of like seeking. Yeah, seeking comes on its own. Like no one's doing it. It's just it. Seeking is a part of this too. Yeah, interesting. It just happens.
As
Seeking something else, something other than
yes.
this.
Yeah, isn't that amazing? It's like mind blowing. You
Yeah.
realize, my God, there's just this thing seeking, just like expectations, yeah? Expectations. Oh, I hope the meeting goes well tonight, right? They just flow free. They just flow freely like the rain. Nobody's doing expectations. You're not doing them. You know, in a spiritual field for so long, expectations were dirty. You know, oh, you have to not have expectations. It's very bad. You know, you're just going to suffer. Poor thing. No, expectations arise naturally. It's just that nobody's doing them.
And where is it that we've gotten that it's like that expectations come from a being, an entity, right? Like, because this is a total different message than life that I've been brought up with or whatever. Like that, oh yes, I'm having expectations, I've got too high expectations, or
Yeah, yeah, beautiful, right? You need to lower your expectations, dude.
uh, right. Huh. Interesting.
But even having expectations is this too.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with expectations, Don.
There's like nothing, it's just, there's nothing wrong with anything.
Exactly. Well, exactly.
And,
There's
and
nothing
it's
wrong with trying to stop, right? There's even, let's say, oh, I shouldn't have this expectations. I wish that weren't there. That's it too. Trying not to have
beautiful.
expectations.
Right. So it's all good, in a neutral kind of goodness. It's all just the way it is. And that it's all just the way it is. And in that moment, that's perfect, because that's just the way it is.
Well, there actually is no moment that it will be perfect in. There's just this right here. You could say it's always this, or it's always now, if you prefer.
Okay. Yeah. Whatever is. And even if you don't get it, that's perfect too.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's perfectly it. Not getting it. You know, Don, not getting it, it literally is exactly as much as getting it is, because they're both this. So they're both thoughts. The thought that, oh, I get it, or I'm still not there yet. Those are both thoughts.
Yeah. I know a lot about not getting it. I'm trying to practice the side of I'm getting it.
Well, that can go on for years or decades until
It
all
has.
this. Here too. But all of a sudden, there can all of a sudden be noticing there's a caring less about thoughts suddenly. It's you didn't do anything. They're just somehow not is a big a deal.
Now,
Like
so
what I'll just finish. What if a thought is just a thought? Nothing more. Doesn't mean anything, doesn't belong to anyone. It's not really, I said during my private with Chris, I said a thought is like a piece of a 1,000-piece jigsaw puzzle. One piece is a thought trying to explain the entire puzzle. That's what a thought is. It's a limited perspective, and yet it's taken as gospel, as if it's the truth. That's how it seems to feel sometimes.
yeah, no, yeah. So you said, I think at some point you don't care as much about the thoughts, right? Now, my question is, and that happens when it happens, and it's just that. Does that, if that happens, that happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. Is there more likelihood of that happening if there is practice involved, or coming to meetings, whatever we're doing here, whatever this is, whatever is happening? It's going to happen if it happens. It's not going to happen if it doesn't happen. And it's just, that's what's going to be. That's what it is. Is there any influence of what we're doing here?
Yes, bigger donations.
Checks in the mail.
Yeah.
I want it.
There's nothing that will make a difference.
This goes back to the word already again, like already. There's nothing but this. There's nowhere to go, nothing to attain. Already, this is it.
Yeah, really. We could. That already just chops the legs out of. There can still feel like doing. I get it. There can be seeking. I know it's really can get crazy, like being in a washing machine sometimes. It can be awful, but there's nothing need to be done already.
God, that's hard to get. Not that you can get it right, whatever, but that's so. Oh boy, go ahead. This is getting deep. We're not even halfway done yet. I'm already lost.
Oh my God, you sound like you're at your first meeting.
Well, you know it is like the Zen people would say, this is the first meeting, right? Beginner's Zen mind, beginner's mind.
Yeah, beautiful. Well, that is it. A beginner's, beginners, like we talk about childlike innocence. Yeah, childlike innocence. It really is that way for children. Everything is very direct. If they're angry, you hear about it. If they're frustrated, you hear about it. If they're, amazed, it's just so innocent. And really, we're all children. This whole label about, oh, now you're an adult. I don't know. I don't know what that means. What identity do you want? See, that's the unusual thing about this meeting is the identities come and go freely. So there can be clinging to an identity, again, for decades. I'm a man, I'm a woman, can innocently happen. And then suddenly one day, it's like you just get up and it's like, oh, there's just this.
I listened to, I don't know if you guys know of this person, Rosemarine Rose from Holland. Anyway, I love her. Anyway, at one point she says, it's kind of like already, but I put it up on my bathroom mirror and it's nothing's missing. And so I've just sort of been playing with that of like, it seems very much like the already. But I just, it's like, that even feeling like something is missing is nothing's missing. Like all of it, no matter what, thoughts happening, feelings, thinking that, something better than this has got to be on the horizon or whatever. It's like that too, nothing's missing. So even when things really stink, it's like, I don't know. It's just it's interesting to have that take on, or of like, wow, what if really even this, there's nothing missing even in this,
Yeah, it's always this, whether there's a sense of something missing or not. So yes, Suzanne, just what you're saying, even the sense of something missing is this already.
Right. But as she just said, if the sense of something missing doesn't have something missing in it, which is kind of what Susanna was pointing to, it's like, what does that even mean? Where's the missing? What happened to missing? Well, missing is missing, I know, because if missing isn't really missing, then it shows that missing is a story. It's not what is. And what is, there isn't anything missing. Even the missing doesn't have anything missing. There is nowhere the missing can come from and live and be anything. There is no missing. That's why that word already actually has some meaning and power to it. It means something. Well, it means, yeah, already not missing, even if it's missing, even if it sucks, even if it's the worst possible thing.
Yeah. And the meaning will end at some point. When the body drops, then the meaning will, for everything you've ever thought meant something. Just,
yeah, the meaning is already dropped.
because meaning is always for me. This doesn't need a meaning. And yet, meaning is this too.
So is there meaning, or as Dan said, if I got right, there's already no meaning?
No, there's meaning when there's meaning. Like if you ask for directions or what's your address, right? Did you pay the bill today? There's meaning. But once the meaning, so to say, where is it? I'm saying, like, where's meaning stored? You can't actually find something called meaning.
It's stored in the story. Okay, I'm going.
Meaning is stored. No. Go ahead, Dan.
No, I just said it. You asked the question, I answered. It's stored
Meaning is stored in the story.
Well, I'm being cute, but
Yeah, you say that's a story.
it's yeah, well, I said it, kind of said it before. It's just the meaning is meaning in a story. In a story you have meaning, but without the story, there's no meaning. And then you can kind of look, well, okay, but what's actually really, what is this really? Is it a story, or is it something that really isn't contained in a story?
But there's already no story.
Yeah.
No, there is story, Don. There's story. We're telling stories right now. There's story. Nothing wrong with stories. It's
Well,
already.
okay, sorry to interrupt you. The story is only real to a person. That's kind of what the distinction that I would make.
But there's no person.
Well,
So there's no story.
so yeah.
Well, it's this. It's this already.
Yeah.
That's why we call stories. You say it's an appearance. It's an appearance, but it's not really real. It's only real to the person.
To the person who's not there. The person that you're speaking to is not real to begin with.
Right.
Well, there can be really a falling away of even caring about whether or not there's a me.
Well, the me is if you want to define what is a me is the one who cares about whether there's a me or not. If there's no one caring, then there's no me. Well, that's why how I would talk. But we get different ways to talk, I guess.
Yeah, let's hear from somebody else who's got something to share.
Exactly.
Already is like you're looking for $500, but you have $500 in your pocket already. So already means you don't need to look for the 500. You've already got it. Already means this is already. All is this already. But seeking can seem to happen until it just doesn't seem so important after all. She's just seeking. It's not special. All is this kills specialness. If it's all this, what can be special? And yet, there can seem to be things that are special. Favorite ring, maybe a favorite piece of clothing, whatever. So specialness can seem to arise.
Yeah, it seems like there's so much wrong and right in thinking. It seems like there's a almost constant narrative of like, oh, this is good. Oh, this is, oh, that's not so good. Or, oh, wow, anyway, I guess, but that's it too. Yeah, anyway, it just seems like there's a big narrative on, yeah, this is good. Oh yeah, okay, this is good. Or, oh, this isn't good. How do I get there? It seems a lot of busyness, and also like even from getting up in the morning, just already of like, a dream or a nightmare, and oh, something's wrong with that. This must mean, something's wrong in my work if I've had a nightmare, or I don't know, it just seems like there's a lot of narration on the thoughts and the feelings that are arising,
Yeah, they give the impression, and there can be doing. Again, nothing wrong with doing, cleaning the house, vacuuming, doing dishes, taking a shower, doing not a dirty word. We do all the time. Not a problem. There's just nobody doing it.
And that is, that is I love that about this message, that is so different. Like a lot of people would say you're a nut job to even say that, and I just love that radicalness of this message, that nobody's doing it. And I'll slip that in with friends a bunch, in conversation, and people like, huh? And then I just back off, because it's like, clearly nobody wants to go there. But I think it's so cool and, freeing, just like, why not? Well, let's look at that, I don't know. I just think it's the coolest message, that no one's doing anything, that life is simply lifing, energy is simply arising. This voice, these sounds, these hands moving, all of it is simply just happening. No one's doing it. I just think that is a trip.
Well, beautiful. And Susanna, everything you just said, you didn't pre-plan that.
Right. Right. Nobody's
Not
pre-planning.
exactly. The questions are popping out innocently, even the feeling I'm going to ask my question now.
Yeah.
Nobody is doing that. It's just a thought and a feeling saying, okay, I'm going to ask my question now. So it gives the impression that I'm doing it, but there's nobody behind that. Yeah.
And you know what I love too is like, when I really think, if there's no one behind this individual, then there's no one behind any individual. And so in a way, like, even getting mad at someone is kind of ridiculous, because they're not doing them either. Like, there's just energy happening in that apparent body, whatever, but like nobody's doing it. So why you don't even need to get mad, or like, people are just being done, life is doing us all.
Yeah, and in all the forms. So getting mad does happen.
Yeah.
Shooting people does happen, and getting, it's horrible. I mean, it's all of it. And that sort of what can't be comprehended is that it's all of it, from the bliss and the love to the worst tragedy and the killings. It's all of it.
Right. And we can all know that by, I mean, the hatred or whatever, what the anger in all of us, like the wanting to kill someone or feeling so angry at someone. It's like, wow, it's all over the place. There's no difference out there than in here. You know, it's all over.
Yeah, the funny thing is this doesn't have a problem with anger.
Right. That's cool. Because there's such that, as I was saying, the narration of like, this is good, this is bad, like, you know, anger, ooh, you know, watch out, got to keep it under wraps, you know.
Yeah, especially if you think you're like a spiritual seeker, because then it's doubly worse. You know, you raise your voice or you lose your temper, and not only are you mad that you're angry, but then you feel guilty.
Yeah.
Ah, I'm a spiritual and I lost it. I blew my temper. I'm not there yet.
Right. Right.
Jenny, are you going to get in here? Guess not. Cedric, my man, anything? How's it going, brother? Talk to me.
I'm doing good. How are you?
Good. Where are you located?
New Orleans, Louisiana.
Nice.
Yeah. Um, yeah, I don't feel that there's anything to say. It's, it would just be another word. Um, you know, the other day I was working, and I'm not sure what they call it, but when someone dies, is it an obituary? They put basically on paper what they've done throughout their lives.
Yeah.
I was reading, it was my first time actually seeing that, but I was reading it and I was like, this is my life. You know, one day all of this would just be that thing I've done. That thing, I did this, I did that. Kind of like when you go to Disneyland and you get back home and you talk about it. Ultimately, it feels like the words just go back into silence. And, you know, unless it feels necessary, of course, to speak in the moment, and that's acknowledged spontaneously. But I feel that ultimately there is no solution needed. No, nowhere to go and be, unless you're there. And
Go potty.
yeah.
Beautiful. Yeah. Yeah. Beautiful. There's just this. There's always just this.
And that was beautiful, Cedric.
Yeah.
Go
That was,
potty.
yeah, beautiful, Cedric. But what he said about nothing to get, it's so stunning when that hits you. Because my God, have I been trying so hard to get something?
Yeah, it's always like, for me, it's always like before the first word spoken is kind of like the concept, or like the idea of already. It's like not one word, like just this is it. Like then the first concept comes in, and that's okay too, because that's this. I get it, but that for me is just like it's just this, like, but even before just this.
Yeah. Yeah. Even, yeah, saying just this already is even.
Well, as soon as there's language, which of course there is, it feels like there's something to get because it's like immediately a concept, you know?
Yeah, yeah, beautiful, Jenny. That's how it's seen here. That's why here there's no longer caring about labels. Even the non-duality label was dropped because there's just no label that, what label can you use for everything?
I love it when you say that because you've said that before and it's like, boom, exactly. What word is there for everything? Or for anything we're trying to conceptualize, it's all just like a made up thing. Even when we were saying get it, well, really, what does it mean to get it? You know, like it's just two words. And of course, we put meaning into the whole thing so that we can interact and consider, I guess. But it's like, what is any of it? It's just, you know, I love it.
Yeah, and even the meaning arises innocently as well. Nobody's doing the meaning.
So everything's on autopilot.
Yeah, you could say that. It does, it just doesn't need you.
Yeah.
You know, the like this moment, it doesn't need you. It's just the moment as it is.
Yeah, it's like my toes wiggle and then it's like I wiggled my toes. And then even just before that, sometimes we might think like, which doesn't happen a ton, but you know, yeah, I'm going to do this. But then, well, what is it that decided I'm going to do this? That was equally spontaneous.
Right.
Yeah, so that's why here people ask me sometimes what I can recommend or, try everything. Try anything you think will help. Go for it. Here, tons of trying, reading of spiritual books, reading of non-duality books, trying to get my PhD in non-duality. And I can't explain it. It just suddenly, like the bottom dropped out of everything. The ability to grasp, to hold on, can suddenly.
So I just got 2 books from Jeff Foster today from the library. So hoping that I get it, I'll let you know.
Do it.
Yeah, is one of them Life Without a Center?
Not that one. No.
That was the first non-duality book I ever got because I used to host Jeff when he would
Really?
come to LA about 12 years ago. And that was my first one, was Life Without a Center. And I'm sure, as all of you know, Nkosi and I did a book called Surprise, Surprise, Just This. If I did do a follow-up, though, it probably would be called Already. So again, there's nothing wrong with looking for your car keys, but if they're in your pocket, you may not want to look for them after all, if you already have it. So in this case, you already are it, so to say. There's nothing you can do about it. Everything is this. Here, there was a love for the inclusivity of it. God, everything, even the stuff I don't like, yeah, that's it too. It just doesn't leave anything out. The good, the bad, and the ugly are all this. Why? Why, Michael? Why does there have to be the ugly? I just want the beautiful.
I know Rose she's like, there's no escape. Which, yeah, doesn't sound as nice as already to me. But,
And in a way, it's the same as no ice, because I sometimes say no escape as well, because there just isn't. So even trying to escape is it already.
yeah.
I posted a lovely Nkosi quote today in the Facebook community. There's no somewhere, there's just this. When is it not this?
That can be the movie version of your book, Michael. Escape from Already.
Yeah, we'll see if Harrison Ford is still doing
Summer
movies.
blockbuster. I can
Yeah,
see.
there you go. I mean, see, the funny thing is that's kind of like the me is on this great adventure to find the ultimate truth, right? The highest of the highs. It sounds so noble and so beautiful, right? But it's just this. It's just what's happening. It's never not just what is. Let's see if he got his internet working. Nkosi, did you get your internet working? He was having internet trouble. That's why he didn't have a meeting.
Oh, he's back.
Hi, Nkosi, welcome.
Hi, Michael. Hello, everyone. Hi. Yeah, there was it's called load shedding here in South Africa. They were basically power cuts. So they lasted for 2 to 3 days. So the internet wasn't okay at the time. So just couldn't hold the meeting. Yeah.
So we were talking about already.
Yeah. There's just this already. Power cuts, no power cuts. Looking for something or not happening, blinking, happening, sitting on the chair, the space, the room. Everything is this already. So it may seem as if this is going somewhere, but it's never really going anywhere. Yet thinking that this is going somewhere is this too. So it can never be known. It can never be understood. It can never be gotten because it's already everything. There's really nothing to get it. There's nothing to know it. There's just simply it. It doesn't mind the names, you know. It has been given so many names, but itself as it is already nameless. Is already empty. It's not a thing that can be pointed at. It is wordless. One that seems to be searching for it, looking for it, is already not there, as separate from it. It could be seen that it's just also it's already appearing as somebody looking for it. So there is no real somebody who's actually looking for it. There's just simply this. So other than this is also this. So everything is this already.
Why is it so seems so difficult to like just be in this unknowing? Like it seems we conjure up so much, just so we're so busy that like, but this seems like so simple, but I guess making busyness is what is too, I guess.
Exactly. Yeah, it's like that. It's like that. It's just the way it is. Neutral, also appearing as an activity, also appearing as the opposites, good and bad, black or white, top and bottom, But itself as it is, it's just neutral. It's not a thing. It's not something. It's not doing anything. It's not trying. It's not thinking. Yet appearing as trying, as thinking, as the opposites. It's everything already.
So
And
the
the one
thinking,
who's
oh, sorry, I was just going to say, Nkosi, the thinking, how do I get this? Is this already? How do I get this? Is it? Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
okay, it's fine. It's fine. Everything is this. Even the sorry parts,
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, just happens. Whatever is arising, it's just beautiful. It's arising for no one. It's already empty.
So even when we're all feeling separate and fear comes up and what should I say and what are they going to say? Like, I feel like there's so much separation or feeling separate that there's so much fear between humans and or just sort of, yeah, there's like an underlying discomfort or what should I say? But I guess that's this too. All of it, the discomfort, the not knowing what to say, the fear, the, oh, what are they thinking about me? All of that is it. It's just part of this human experience, this life thing, huh?
Yeah. Everything is this.
Yeah.
Whatever is arising, thinking or not thinking, meditation, no meditation, thinking that there's somewhere to get to happening or not, putting somebody on the pedestal happening. It's just simply this, there is really no escape. Somebody not liking this, so anything may arise here. Anything may arise. It doesn't really matter because there is already nobody here. But it matters to me that this too. Yet what seems to be the sense of being separate from everything, yet it may seem to fall away. It may seem to fall away or not, but it's just this already. There's already no one separate from this to collapse or to fall away. There's just this expressing as everything. This, as it is, doesn't know the other. Yet thinking that there is or knowing of the other is this too. They're just stories happening. And they are beautiful. They're not wrong or right. There's nothing here that is trying to get rid of the story, because the story is this. There is already no left or right to go to. There is already nowhere to get to. There's already nothing to achieve. There's already nothing to fix or hearts to open. No closed hearts already. Just this, whatever is arising, thinking or not thinking, wondering, smiling, getting angry, frustrated, confused, feeling love, peace, joy, happiness happening. It doesn't happen to anybody. It's just what seems to be happening, and it's going nowhere. There's no woman or man here. There are no human beings. There's just this. Mountains, no valleys, planets, no universe. Just this. Everything is this.
Go ahead, Don. You look like you're getting ready to ask a question there.
Well, I was just thinking, it's like this stuff drives me so crazy, and I'm so drawn to it at the same time. It's like, makes no sense. But that's just me saying it makes no sense. which is just this, right? I don't know. I'm just so drawn to this, and yet I don't know. It's like I'm not going to ever get it. I sort of get that sort of, but I want it. But I'm drawn to this. So I'm thinking I should be drawn to something that says I'm going to get it. Because that's what I want, but I'm drawn to this. It's like a magnet. So what? So okay, it goes. So what is that? Why am I drawn to this? It's like I so want this. I mean, I want this at the depths of me. I want this, whatever it is. This is what.
Well,
What is that?
I can say there's just this, and there's no one who's drawn to anything. There's just this. Even saying I'm drawn to this, Nkosi. I love this, Nkosi. It's just this. There's actually no one there to be drawn to anything, to be interested in anything. There's just this already saying, I'm interested in this. I love this. Even though sometimes I get confused, but I love it. I still love it. Already. The word already, it's already.
Yeah, no matter how you slice it, it's this already.
And doesn't it go back to what you were saying about the $500, like looking for $500, but it's already in your pocket? Kind of.
Exactly. This is already fully this. So you already are what you seek. But if there's a compulsion to seek, there's just a compulsion to seek, but nobody's doing it.
Well, there must be something wrong here. Is this?
I'm never going to get this, am I? And
You are not already.
what?
You are not already. Just this saying, I'm never gonna get this.
Right. Is this right?
Yes.
This is
Yeah. There's already
my.
no one separate to get it.
Yeah.
Any last comments or questions before we close out this evening? Thank you, everybody. Thank you to each and every one of you. We so love and appreciate all of you. Nkosi, brother, no words. Good night, everybody.
Good night.